Hi, this is Michael DeSilvas from DeSilvas' Media channel, the Freedom Network. I received an interesting email from a person in the chat room this week, and they wanted to know why people who you've been friends with all your life all of a sudden just stop talking to you, or why they give you a hard time, or why they, when you thought they were growing up one way, they perceived to be really not that at all. They turned out to be something totally different. The answer is this: pride, control, pride issues that they have, and maybe pride issues you may have. Like someone asked me the other day, well, why do my friends don't have time to talk to me? You know, I said to them, I said, well, maybe, you know, it could be, really what it could be is that you are always telling them how to live their lives or controlling them. Maybe they feel uncomfortable to talk to you or to take time with you because you're always trying to say how good you are comparatively to how bad they are, when really, you know, it's not about being good versus bad. It's about, you know, helping each other and talking to each other, because if someone's always telling you what to do or telling you how to live your life or telling you how to do things, and it's only a one-way conversation when yet other people have different ideas, you know, you're basically going to alienate your friends, because your friends are going to get tired of you telling them how to live their lives all the time. And they're going to get tired of you giving them advice, you know, about, you know, like making it sound like you're better than they are all the time. There's a lot of that goes on. And that's why friends change. Maybe some friends, another thing could be because they have some mental illness and they're on medications, hypertropic drugs, and sometimes that can mess up the mind over time and can make them have a different perception of you. You know, or if you're on the drugs, it can do that to you when you perceive it, you know, the other way, when you look at other people. You know, so a lot of times you have to keep yourself in check. Or then again, maybe these people really change, whether you're on medicine or not. They may have really changed. And that's why they are not the person they used to be, like they were when you met them growing up. You know, and also some people have controlling issues. You know, really it's because they're scared, more scared, or they're scared about anything than you are. They're afraid, so they think they have to lead or have control on everybody. Nobody really likes to be around a bunch of people that are authoritative or dictative. You know, they like somebody that tells them the truth and is really a friend, not somebody that's phony, is always getting after them about what they're doing or what they're not doing. You know, it's good to say something about it when they bring it up and not to keep bringing it up all the time. Because a lot of people, you know, it's like you sound like you're God and like you're better than they are, when yet everybody is sinful and everybody is having troubles with different sins in different areas of their life and issues. And it's not really our job, let's try to search for the right word there, to judge anyone one way or the other or to get after people. That's not our job, that's God's job. And we're kind of overstepping our jurisdiction when we go and we try to judge someone for what they're doing, when yet we may not know all the information, what's going on in their life. We may know a little bit of it, but we don't have all the picture. You know? And the thing is, you know, and if you're always telling people what to do and telling them how to live their life, and you're always sounding like they're better, nobody's going to want to be your friend. They're just going to alienate you, because nobody wants to be around somebody that's a goody-goody, because that's the way you come across and the way you come off when you talk to people. So, you know, if you have that problem, not saying you do, but if you're some of those people that are like that, you better stop doing it, because people don't like people that are always gloating about themselves all the time, saying, look at me, you know, I'm better than you, and you're doo-doo. You know, nobody likes anybody like that. So, you know, you got to treat people with love and compassion. That's what the Bible teaches, is what Jesus taught, and that's what he wants us to do, not judging and holding people. No, that's God's department, not ours. We're supposed to, you know, we're supposed to forgive people. We're supposed to be understanding. You know, we're supposed to be, you know, trusting. We're supposed to help people. That's what we're supposed to do as Christians. So, you know, that's what we need to do. You know, so, you know, it's just very, you know, it's just what we got to do. And, you know, and if we're going to learn to do these kinds of things, that's what we have to do. I mean, you know, if we tell somebody it's okay to do something and then we change our mind 2.5 months later and because of some stupid excuse, that's not being really a friend. You know, it's like, you know, Now, I can understand, if it was a stranger that did something, like put videos up on YouTube and you didn't know them, then that would be a good reason to get upset and to worry. But, when you know somebody and they know you and they're representing your children in a good light, and, I don't think this should be an issue, and it shouldn't be 2.5 months later. Because, I'm not going to jeopardize your children. I love them. And they love me. And I'm not going to hurt them in any way, shape, or form because I really do love them. And I wouldn't do that to them on YouTube either. So, if they were on YouTube, they weren't represented in a bad light. I mean, I know a lot about children. I know all about videos, and I know how to represent them. So they don't do that. And that's what I kept in mind when we had the videos, when we did the videos, So, these are things that can toy with friendships. And, when you do things like that, it's bad. Because it's like you're a hypocrite because you say one thing, but then you change your mind. And it's like, it's really strange. But some people do that because of medicine and things that they're taking and things. And, some people get real paranoid and freaky out because they're so scared of their own shadow. And there's a lot of people that are like that because they've been taught that way growing up and going to school. Instead of being their own person and being their own mind and being able to say things and do things on their own, they kind of conform and follow the crowd. And that's not what God wants people to do, is put their head in the sand when things get bad. God wants us all to have a say and have a mind of our own and be able to do things on our own, not to be all scared and be and go hide into the corner somewhere. Because that's not why Jesus don't want cowards to be Christians. He wants soldiers to do the right thing, to stand up to tyrants, to stand up to dictators, to globalists, or whatever the obstacle is, even Satan. That's, Jesus stood up to him when he rose from the grave. That's not a cowardly act at all. Well, that's the same thing he wants for us to do as Christians, each and collectively, if we're real Christians. And we represent the way, like Paul refers to, as a church. That's what we're supposed to do. So to answer your question, in short, people change. Why people? Or it's because of all these other reasons. If they say one thing, go back on their word, or they give you something, they want it back. These are all selfish things. These are all not good marks of a good friend. When you say something, you need to keep your promise. You need to keep your words. You need to be, you need to do those things. Don't make excuses. A lot of people that always make excuses or always try to blame other people or find blame or have controlling issues. These are things that will break and ruin relationships. Always, all the time. So it's always good to try to, to really listen and understand and have compassion and be compassionate toward those who are different from you. Have different opinions. You may not like their opinions. Shoot, I don't like a lot of opinions I hear anyway, but I'm not going to dislike them or, write them off because of what they said, because they didn't agree with me or I didn't agree with them. Because people always have differences. I don't care. You can look at people and we have differences. We have all the features all on the inside. We have a heart, we have blood, and we have organs, and we all have the same organs. But the thing is, on the outside, we look different. Even though we have a lot of differences, we are all still pretty much the same. Just the skin and our accent, our language, and all that's different. But all in all down, we're all the same. We're all people. And that's what we have to remember and bear in mind when we're dealing with people. In order to keep friends, we have to be a friend. And we have to practice that. Not try to make ourselves look better. Not have prideful issues. Or thinking that we are better. Because if you think you're better, nobody wants to be around somebody like that. So anyway, that's just my blog for today. I'll have another blog for you later on today or maybe tomorrow. This is Michael De Silvas from De Silvas Media Channel, July 5th, 2013. See ya.